Hello everyone. In this video, I'll be translating and summarizing the latest Urdu broadcast by Samina Pasha to make it accessible for our English-speaking audience. Let's go through the key developments and insights in Samina Pasha's words. Right now, the law and order situation in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa is going from bad to worse. In such circumstances, a significant security committee, or rather, a peace committee, has been formed by the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa Assembly. A crucial meeting of this committee was held. Before that, Mr. Sohail Afridi also spoke to the media, and the demands and statements he made were quite important. We'll brief you on all those matters. Along with that, Maryam also held a meeting today. This meeting included various scholars and imams from different schools of thought within the Ahle Sunnat community. What was the purpose of this meeting? What did she discuss there? We'll share all those details with you. After that, we'll also tell you what incident took place with Qazi Sahib, which has been circulating widely as a big news story. And we'll also inform you about some positive news for PTI today. The husband of Eman Mazari has also been arrested. This is another court-related update that we'll share. So there's a lot in this vlog. I request you to please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. Now, first of all, let's talk about the law and order situation in KP, because unrest there seems to be increasing. For instance, today in the Kurum area, there was a clash between security forces and terrorists. The security forces carried out an operation, and according to them, 7 militants were killed. But unfortunately, Pakistan's forces also suffered casualties. Captain Noman and 6 soldiers were martyred in the incident. Now again, the same issue arises. When such incidents happen, everyone says that our brave soldiers are being martyred and continuously sacrificing their lives. The real question is, where does this end? What path should be taken to resolve this? The biggest problem is that the local people in these areas are not in favor of any new military operation. They have valid reasons. During such operations, they are displaced from their homes. Their houses are destroyed, their businesses suffer, and above all, there's loss of innocent lives. Speaking about this today, Chief Minister Sohail Afridi of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa made an important statement. He said that if you look at the international definition of collateral damage, it says that if you kill 100 terrorists and unfortunately, 2 innocent civilians die as a result. Which shouldn't happen, of course. Even then, it's termed as collateral damage. It's considered an unavoidable part of a large operation, though efforts should be made to avoid it. But Sohail Afridi says that in Pakistan, especially in Dera, when operations are carried out, up to 21 ordinary civilians are martyred, and when asked how many terrorists were actually killed, none can be confirmed. This is a huge claim. He says most of those killed in these incidents are local civilians, not terrorists. Today, a similar incident took place in Tira, where a woman was martyred and a young girl was injured. Footage of this is available on social media. These are the kinds of incidents due to which both the KP government and local people oppose military operations. They argue that whether it's a terrorist attack or a security operation, common citizens end up dying either way. The PTI's stance is that both ordinary citizens and security personnel are being martyred. They are all our own people. Therefore, there should be a way to avoid such loss of life among our soldiers. Their approach may be different, but that doesn't mean they want to harm the Pakistan army. In fact, they want that soldiers, policemen, and civilians, no one, should lose their lives unnecessarily. However, this is often misrepresented as PTI wanting to negotiate with terrorists. That's not what they're saying. They're saying that local elders and stakeholders should be taken on board, federal and provincial governments, local leaders, Afghan authorities, and security institutions, and a joint strategy should be developed. Those who still refuse to cooperate, even after such collective decision-making, can then face action. Or if they choose to surrender, decisions can be made about them accordingly. But the idea is that fighting blindly without involving stakeholders only makes things worse, not better. That's PTI's position. Sohail Afridi also clarified that they're not talking about launching an operation. They're only talking about collateral damage. He said they plan to introduce legislation to ensure that if any collateral damage occurs due to security operations, there can be legal accountability for that too. Of course, this statement likely didn't sit well with certain quarters. The reaction from the establishment's spokespersons made that clear. As we saw, some called him speaking the language of the enemy. Rana Sanaullah even said that if Afridi doesn't correct his tone, meetings with him won't be possible. But if he does, then things might get easier for him. So, this is the environment we're in now, where the attitude seems to be, we hold the stick so our word will prevail, agree or face consequences. In such a system, there's no space left for right or wrong, law or ethics, or even tradition, only the rule of force. Nevertheless, in KP, the PTI government took an initiative to form a peace committee, including parliamentary representatives from different parties. The committee held a meeting today and decided to prepare a joint plan of action. The most encouraging thing was that opposition leaders such as Dr. Iqbal, Speaker Babar Salim, and the Chief Minister were all sitting together, showing that this isn't about who's in power, but about public welfare and peace. They recognized that this issue concerns the entire province and all its stakeholders, regardless of how many seats the opposition holds. Everyone's input matters. You won't see this kind of democratic consultation in other provinces. There, the opposition isn't even given the courtesy of being consulted, despite being so suppressed and cornered. In KP, at least you see an element of democracy. They bring the opposition on board, seek their opinions, and give them importance. Even regarding the Senate elections, they reached out for support. Maulana Fazlur Rahman was visited by Asad Kaiser just yesterday, seeking his cooperation for the appointment of the opposition leader. Although sometimes Maulana meets with PTI and sometimes refuses, they still approach him. Because that's part of democratic tradition. Every party has the right to seek votes and cooperation, even for a single seat. Unfortunately, in other parts of the country, such democratic practices have almost disappeared. In Punjab, it feels as though a curfew has been imposed, as if Madame is determined to wipe out the very existence of the opposition. Just listen to her words today. What kind of woman speaks with such hatred and venom? Basically, today she had an interaction with religious scholars, or ulama, and what was the real reason behind such an interaction? The distribution of stipends, this whole display of piety, and her attempt to project a religious, spiritual image? The purpose was simply this, to manage the backlash that came after the action taken against TLP, or Tehreek-e-Labbaik Pakistan. That's the one-line explanation. The money that has been announced for mosque imams. Earlier, they had announced 10,000 rupees, and in today's meeting, it was revealed that it has been increased to 25,000 rupees. So Madam, in her very spiritual mood, went on telling everyone how she was born and raised in a deeply religious family. How she used to throw rose petals on the processions of Eid Miladun Nabi. She was trying to create a very holy and blessed impression of herself. But essentially, what is all this about? Why didn't you do this earlier? Because the reason is simple. She fears that after the action taken against TLP, there could be a reaction from other religious parties or clerics, and even from the public. So to neutralize that, this is the method: give out stipends, bring them on board, and keep them calm. Although frankly, they didn't need much persuasion. When one group sees how brutally another is crushed, they understand that if they speak up in support, the same stick will be used against them. So they think, it's better to stay quiet. Maybe we'll even get something out of it. And of course, we have plenty of courtier-type clerics in our country who see this as an ideal situation, a chance to bargain and gain favors. They go along happily. For example, Mufti Munib-ur-Rahman, who still hasn't gotten over being removed as the chairman of the Ru'at-e-Hilal committee during the PTI era. He can't forget that to this day. Anyway, there are many such clerics, always flattering the government, singing its praises, who've existed in every era. This was just another one of those episodes. During the meeting, Madame said that TLP had been creating a lot of trouble. And that's true to an extent. Their politics has been problematic. They've harassed people, damaged property, held violent protests. All of that is on record. But the question is, what were they actually doing at the time this latest action was taken against them? What was their motive? And does this government's action make sense in that context? Clearly not. Moreover, the way the government is trying to justify its actions is also incoherent. None of the clerics sitting there, like Raghib Naimi and others, bothered to ask, where are those missing people? Where are the injured? Why were their leaders arrested? Why did the negotiations fail? They just sat there nodding along, as if they were there only to rubber stamp the government's stance. Being calmed down and told, Look, we've punished one group, so now you people stay quiet. And they were thankful for it, saying, very good, we support you completely. Now, while she was taking these clerics into confidence over the TLP issue, Maryam Nawaz couldn't resist using the occasion to vent her hatred for PTI. She unleashed a flood of lies. Honestly, it was astonishing to hear. Madam said, we too have faced difficult times, but we never picked up weapons. Really? What about when your party attacked the Supreme Court? Or when you attacked the NAB office? Sure, NAB later cleared you of those charges, but the entire world saw the footage, the stone throwing, the violence. And as for never needing weapons, well, why would you? You always had videos for blackmailing, as you yourself admitted on record. So of course you didn't need guns. Your videos were your weapons, used to blackmail and settle scores. Then she claimed that when PTI picked up weapons, that's when the state acted against them. Before that, they held rallies and nothing happened. That's an outright lie. Remember the 25th May 2022 Long March? That was before 9th May, yet the government cracked down brutally. PTI workers were arrested, and even 1 or 2 were martyred. Why was that? Even if we accept her argument that action was taken after 9th May, what about 26th November, when international and local journalists reported that PTI protesters were unarmed and peaceful, yet the state still used force? So just saying a lie boldly doesn't make it true. Honestly, if there were ever a university course titled The Art of Lying, Maryam Nawaz should be the subject of research. From my properties are neither in Pakistan nor London, to the endless contradictions since. It's been one falsehood after another. And today, she even said, this position, this seat, was given to me by Allah. Astaghfirullah. The whole world knows how she got that seat. She lost the election, had no public mandate, yet was made chief minister through a deal. So please, at least don't bring Allah into your falsehoods. Don't take his name to justify deceit. And those bearded clerics sitting beside her, not one had the courage to stop her and say, Madam, enough. We're forced to listen, but at least don't lie so blatantly. Anyway, I've spoken so much about her that maybe this will be the last time I even talk about her, because now Her Majesty seems to be planning something new. You know about NCCIA, the agency formed under PICA, the cybercrime law, which has already filed first information reports against 9 of its own officers. Despite that, Madam is still not satisfied. Although that very agency has unjustly targeted citizens, journalists, and activists, arresting and harassing people, she now wants to form another agency, just for Punjab. According to Dawn newspaper, this new setup will target anyone accused of blasphemy or disrespect. And you can imagine what that means. So is Punjab now becoming a separate country from Pakistan? Because if the NCCIA already works nationwide, why does Punjab need a separate version of it? The reason seems clear. She cannot tolerate any criticism. Her authoritarian mindset doesn't allow opposition. Yet, in the same meeting, she said, even if someone opposes me, whether it's a woman or anyone else, they should not be wronged. What can one even say to such blatant hypocrisy? How can a person lie so shamelessly? It's mind-boggling. Anyway, a few court updates today. From Gujarat, there was some good news. 30 PTI workers and a former member of the Provincial Assembly, Mr. Salim, have been acquitted in the 9th May cases due to lack of evidence. I was wondering which brave judge dared to do this, given how people are being handed 10-year sentences these days. So that's some relief for PTI. The sad news, however, was the arrest of Hadi Chatta, husband of Eman Mazari. You know both Eman and Hadi are human rights activists. Eman had filed a complaint after Sarfaraz Dogar spoke to her in a threatening tone inside the courtroom. She called for legal action against him. After that, a campaign began to target and suppress them. Both husband and wife were charged over social media posts, warrants were issued, and today Hadi Chatta appeared in court voluntarily. There's video proof that he was present, yet the judge, Afzal Mazoka, still issued arrest warrants and had him arrested inside the courtroom. This makes a complete mockery of the justice system. Arrest warrants are meant for absentees, but here, the man was standing right there, and they still took him away. This is nothing but pure victimization. Various organizations have condemned it. Journalists Matiullah Jan and Saqib Bashir also shared a story today. Apparently, there was a heated argument between Justice Qazi Faiz Isa and Musaddiq Malik at Pakistan's embassy in Spain. The issue was about a female officer being removed from her position. Qazi Isa confronted Musaddiq Malik, asking, "Are you running your ministry yourself, or is someone else running it for you?" Musaddiq Malik got angry and retorted, "The same people running my ministry are the ones who are running you." Things got quite tense, and apparently Qazi Faiz Isa was humiliated badly. "Well, Qazi Sahib, it seems humiliation is your destiny. Even after you're gone from this world, people will remember you with contempt for how you sided with oppression and buried the judiciary's integrity. And now, ironically, you're being humiliated by the very people you served. There's still more to come. God willing, we'll see it all." That wraps up our translation of Samina Pasha's video. I hope this English version helped you understand her message better. Please like, share and subscribe to Awami Lens to help our community grow. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of this effort.